for leadership of the lead, where great leaders and good cigars come together. Austin and Dice are back in season 5, sharing leadership lessons, cigar knowledge, and a few stories along the way. Just honest talk, with vibes, and premium smoke. Grab a tasty beverage, a quality cigar, because life is too short for bad cigars.
Welcome to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf. My name is Austin.
What's up, Austin? I'm Dice.
What up, Dice?
I'm just saying, man, we're here to share some leadership advice with a good cigar. What cigar are we smoking?
We're smoking the CAO Sol, which is Latin for sun.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, weird. The wrapper is a Honduran Olancho San Agustin, or OSA. The binder is Cameroon, and the filler is Dominican, Nicaraguan, Esteli, and Condega.
Oh. Okay.
That's a 6x50. That's a medium to medium full. We'll see. We'll see how it. We'll be the judge.
We'll see how
Tomorrow.
it goes.
Yeah, that's what we're smoking. So, Dice, Hennessy VS. Cool. Moving on.
Oh, is that what you think, sir? That's a big NEG this time. It's a big NEG. Because, truth be told, I look back through my journal. Well, it's not really a journal, but it's a book of cigar bands. And this one fell into doesn't pair well with Hennessy category.
Oh, so what are you drinking then, Dice?
I am drinking Jameson, sir. Jameson.
All right.
So, boom, Jameson.
Okay. I'm drinking Red Breath. 12 years.
There we go. Yeah. But like, oh, Dice is drinking something different. Trump card. Red Breath.
The bottle was had like a quarter left, and it was staring at me.
But this is my question.
What?
Did the wife get some?
No, she didn't want any.
She didn't want any, because I remember there was a few episodes back. I can't remember which one it was. You was like, I can't drink Red Breast because I've drank it all and she didn't get any, and it's not fair to her.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Linda.
Listen, Linda. I let the bottle sit with a good glass and a half in the bottle for at least 2 months.
All right.
At that point, she has negated her opportunity, not taken her opportunity, to get some. I mean, not my fault at that point. It's fair.
Statute of limitations up.
Statute of limitations up. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about your luck. I even poured some, showed her the bottle. She looked at it and said, okay, and then went on about her business like it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm sure I'll get some hell when I get back inside. It's not my fault, because I did everything but open her mouth and pour it in her mouth or something, which I would have been told is not a good way to get people to drink an alcohol. I heard that.
Yeah, it's a little frowned upon, sir.
A little bit.
A little frowned upon.
So
that one time back in college.
Yeah. I have learned that it's not apparently a good thing to do. So I said, fuck it. And not my fault anymore.
This CAO cigar we're smoking, the Fasa? Fasa line. There's a Ooh. Not to bring it back to the show and you force feeding your wife alcohol, which can be used in court. Save this tape, Angie. There's 3 cigars in the Fasa line.
Yes.
Sol, Noche, and Sombra.
Yeah.
Is that how you would say that? I would say that. Which is sun, night, and shade.
Yeah.
You're not the only one that can speak Latin.
Yeah. So we're smoking the Soul, which is more of a Honduran cigar. You know what's funny is I have notes pulled up for tasting notes and all that fun stuff, right? Just for FGs. And when I do that, I Google it to get it best, and then of course Google was like, "Hey, do you want to do the AI overview?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?" And it says best paired with, ready?
Yeah.
Kentucky bourbon, Nicaraguan rum, or Cafe Cortado.
Cortado. That's like an espresso.
Yeah. Well, apparently what it's best paired with.
And we both are pairing it with Irish whiskey.
Yep, we fucked up.
I should have picked up a bourbon. But I don't care what AI says.
Yeah, anyway. All right, guys, what are we talking about tonight for our leadership?
We had an episode that was about chain of command, which was a suggested episode from Kevin. Suggestion. I don't know if I announced that on that episode or not. Well, I announced it this episode. This is kind of a follow-up to that because there was some things that was just sitting in the pit. I would say my stomach, but there was stuff sitting still left on the table unsaid after we finished airing that episode. So today's episode is about something every leader faces, but not every leader handles well. And that is what we continued our conversation about, is how to handle a difficult subordinate.
Ooh, difficult subordinate. Yeah, like, so, you know, how do you handle the difficult subordinates, right? I think the negative one, the one who's always bitches, the one who always, we're never going to get here on time, we work so hard, we never did anything good. Or the arrogant one is like, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah. Hey, Dice, hey, I can do your job.
Yeah, you can be replaced with, you know, the one who won't listen, where you're like, hey, you shouldn't do that. And they go, this isn't my first rodeo.
Yeah.
Or the one who even challenges you publicly. That's like, you know, like, hey guys, this is a down quarter. Like, well, it's all because of your leadership. Bitch, it's been a down quarter because the government shut down for fucking 40 days, you ass. Like, has nothing to do with my leadership. But, you know, here's the truth. If you lead long enough, you're going to lead someone who tests you. And that's not a question of then, it's a question of when. And the question should be, are you going to respond emotionally or strategically?
That is going to be the biggest part in the cigar pun here. The biggest draw in the whole situation, right? Because if you handle it emotionally, you're kind of already lost. But
right.
If you handle it strategically, you're moving pieces on the chessboard.
Right, and it goes back to that stoic leadership style, the stoicism episode that we talked about a couple episodes back, right? Where you don't respond with emotion. You get an input, you recognize there's a space between the input and your reaction, and you get to choose how to respond. You know, difficulty is a symptom. It's not a personality. Like, you know, everything can't be going perfect for every single person. I understand that. I understand that. But it's not a personality. They're just not difficult to work with. Now, maybe you have those people who are like, no, bullshit, Austin. Bullshit. Like, there's just that one person I cannot get through to no matter how hard I try. Well, maybe it's not the work situation that is making them difficult. Maybe it's their home life. Maybe it's their personal life. Maybe it's trouble or something else going on.
Well, I know a lot of times when you get a difficult subordinate, more than likely for me, more probably for you, your first instinct might be frustration. And I guarantee you, my first instinct is always going to be frustration until I take a breath and think about it a little deeper. You know, it's the ones that have that bad attitude, like no matter what, you just think they have a bad attitude, or they're lazy. Like no matter what they do, it's like, oh, they're so fucking lazy, or they're toxic. Like no one can work with this guy because he has such a negative, bad attitude, lazy, toxic energy. Strong leaders, as I have learned, don't diagnose personalities, they diagnose patterns. Negative attitude is usually a symptom. And the best way that I have put in my head for those symptoms is to think about a garden. Some plants thrive, they get all the sunlight and they're good, while others wilt. And those are normally the ones that aren't getting the sunlight. Like maybe something like you said is happening at home. Maybe there's a deeper issue than just their bad attitude. And that's where your good leadership has to play a part.
Right. Well, if you're thinking about a garden and and something's wilting, you're not going to yell at the plant. You're going to check the soil. You're going to like, hey, are they getting enough nutrients? Hey, maybe they need more sun. They need more shade. Hey, maybe, they need more water or miracle grow. Fuck, I don't know. In the workplace, negativity usually comes from something like feeling undervalued, being overworked, lack of clarity, poor communication, interpersonal conflict, personal stress outside of work, lack of respect. Like, hey, maybe they got passed over for a promotion and you got the promotion, so they're automatically like, I could do your job better. I should have had your job. I could do your job better. It requires curiosity before correction. So before you discipline, you need to ask, like, hey, what's feeding this behavior? Like, what's going on? Talk to me. What is happening?
Yeah, from what I have experienced, and probably some others, and I'm not going to say it's 100% always like this, but most difficult employees aren't trying to be difficult. A lot of times they're just trying to be heard. Deep down, they do not see themselves as being difficult, but they see themselves actually being helpful. They're actually thinking that they're providing gestures of improvement or gestures of, hey, I'm helping out the bigger picture. I'm a cog in this machine. When on actuality they're missing a few sprockets or something, and they're actually causing a lot of hiccups within the machine.
Right. Yeah. And even if it's difficulty, like I know that everyone has a boss, right? So like I know my boss sometimes thinks they're like, man, this dude is difficult. He will not let certain things go. And it's not that I don't want to let things go, but I'm genuinely trying to improve the situation of the workplace. Like I'm genuinely trying to say, hey, like what I feel like is a good idea, but here's my idea, and nobody has come to me and is like, you're missing the bigger picture. So clarity is kindness, right? If I had clarity of purpose or clarity of situation, I can reframe my insubordination in some instances as not rebellion, but it's confusion, right? If roles are not clearly defined or situations aren't clearly defined, people are going to fill in the blanks themselves. And when expectations are fuzzy, performance gets messy. It's the same thing as like, I don't know, you're driving down the road and there's a backup and you're like, oh my God, what the hell is backup? I bet some idiot did something stupid or whatever. And yes, it could have been a wreck. Yes, somebody could have done something stupid, but probably more often than not, it was a mistake, or somebody reacted differently than somebody else expected them to, or they're like, why did you stop at that yellow light? I didn't expect you to stop at the yellow light. Like I expected you to go through it, and I was going to follow you. And then now I rear-ended you, and there's a fucking pilot, like, or whatever, right? Like it's lack of clarity because they had no idea what the intention of their leaders are.
Well, that's where we step in, my friend, because clear leadership starts with defined roles. From day one, people should know what part of the machine they own, what part of the cog, what part of the system they own, what are they accountable for, what does success look like, all that, and ambiguity, I've been practicing that word, breeds frustration. Because after roles have clearly been defined and repeat infractions against the clearly defined roles, this is where I think documentation is a must. I'm not necessarily saying write-ups or all this stuff, but hey, I told you twice, we're pretty clearly defined. I'm just going to document that we had a meeting to indicate to whoever your subordinate, whoever your supervisor is after me or whatever, knows that we had this meeting before or we talked about this before. I just want to document it.
Well, yeah, but it can even go before that. Like day one, I'm going to define what your roles are. I'm going to define what you're accountable for. I'm going to define what success looks like. And then I'm going to write all this stuff down. Here's what you're responsible for. Bing, 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 bing. Here's what success looks like in this role, X, Y, Z. And here's what you're accountable for. And I'm going to lay it out. So that way, if you ever have any questions, you can reference this document that I gave to you on day one that says what you're accountable for, what success looks like, and everything else. So that way, if you ever think, man, is that my job? You can come back and look at this and go, oh, it is my job. Or, oh, no, that's not my job. And then if you're hey, if it's not my job, whose job is it? Then you can come ask me. It's, setting that expectation and then giving them something to reference back. Day one, day two or whatever. Because it's, if you have clear performance goals, right? Like SMART goals, which I think we talked about before. They're not corporate fluff.
Yeah. This got added specifically for you because of you. This is you.
I love SMART. Honestly, the acronym is great. It's not fluff. It's guardrails. It's leadership guardrails. If they're smart, if goals are smart, they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Meaning, I need you to produce X amount of widgets. That means it's specific and it's measurable. If you don't meet X amount of widgets, then you're fucking up. Achievable. That's achievable within, per quarter, X amount of widgets per quarter. That's achievable, right? Like if I say, hey, I need you to just produce as many as you can, that's not measurable, that's not achievable, or not specific either. Relevant, you got to make sure they're relevant to that person's position. If they're a production manager and you're asking them to ensure that all expenses are processed through finance on time. In fairness, they don't have access. They don't have oversight of how many expense reports are processed through finance. That's the finance department. They could say all of my expense reports are turned in and were turned in by the deadline. If finance didn't approve them or didn't process them, that's not on me. That's on the finance department. So you got to make sure they're relevant. And then time bound. Every quarter, you produce X amount of widgets. And this is with a no less than 90% success rate like it has to have no more than 10% error. Boom, that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. That way, you laid out exactly what it takes to succeed in this goal, what your expectations are, and what they're owned and accountable for. Boom, all of that stuff is great stuff, and a lot of people just sit there and go, I want you to produce as many widgets within this quarter as possible.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay, great. I'm going to produce one, and that's what I'm going to say is all that's possible.
Woo! No. Man, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, day one, I hit my goal. Woo! Get the fuck out of here.
I need you to sell X amount of apartments within this quarter. Why are you doing security? What part of your job is security? Zero. Absolutely none. So get back, make some phone calls, write the tickets. This is your job. When someone misses those expectations, you don't say you need to step it up. You say the goal was X amount. We're currently at Y amount. Let's close that gap. Or what's preventing you from closing that gap?
Right. My argument was going to be, if you just say, let's close the gap, maybe as a supervisor who may or may not have done the job before or may have experience in this job, you could say, hey, let's close the gap. Here's some ideas of how I think you can close the gap. Here's some tools for your toolbox. That clarity removes emotion from correction. Great leaders know discipline without clarity is going to feel like punishment.
Yes.
If you just say, hey, you're not meeting your fucking goals, I need you to step up or step out.
We can find someone else.
What the fuck does that mean? Like, from a manager's perspective, if a CEO comes to you and you're like, man, we are pushing as fucking hard as we can. They're like, you're not meeting my goal for you. Like, I understand. And they bring you a list of challenges. You can look at those challenges and go, okay. Maybe you can look at it and say, hey, okay, look, I see we did not give you enough parts to assemble the widget, that number of widgets, and that's on us. So I'm going to go out and buy you some more. That's, as long as you come to it with, hey, boss, I'm working as hard as I can, but here's where I'm lacking in the parts required to produce the widget. That's clarity. That then you can go, now I understand. Here's how I'm going to help you close that gap.
You need to help me close the gap of this first third. I need to know. Clarify it for me.
So when I first lit this cigar, I was not impressed by the taste.
Are you sure?
I just be honest. I was like, ugh, this is. But since it's I don't know that I would call this medium. I'd almost call this light. It's very subtle. There's a subtle cedar creaminess to it. I don't know.
Well, my first puff or whatever, my first draw is the law. It had a very strong cinnamon, not like the dusting of cinnamon that, I can taste cinnamon. Like, you absolutely put too much cinnamon on your tongue flavor. Like, cinnamon. I did do a retro, and it's a little pepperish to me. I get the cedar.
Yeah, I can see the cinnamon. I get the cinnamon. Like, it's spicy.
Yeah.
I get the cedar. I get the pepper that you were talking about. I don't think I would call this medium right now. I get spicy, but it's not like, this is medium. I'm feeling the punch in the mouth or whatever that normal mediums give me.
Well, I'm glad we had that open dialogue, and I provided some active listening.
Yeah, well, if you want to manage some difficult people effectively, you're going to need those two tools, right? You need open dialogue and active listening.
I wasn't calling you difficult.
Yes, you were. Let's be clear.
I hate that, but it works.
Open dialogue means creating a safe space for conversation without fear of retaliation. Not once a year, not when things explode, but regularly. Difficult employees often become less difficult when they feel heard. Active listening isn't waiting for your turn to talk. I hate this so much. This is what you will know these people when you get in a conversation with them, because what you're going to do is you're going to go, yes, but I need more parts to be able to complete the widget. And they go, yeah. But I'm just telling you need to complete the widget. Right, I understand what you're saying. I need to complete the widgets, but I am telling you that I need the parts to be able to assemble the widget. We are 200 of these nuts or whatever, bolts or whatever, short of the amount of, to be able to complete the number of widgets you want me to complete this quarter.
Man, I just don't understand why we can't get it done. I just don't understand.
I'm telling you that I'm short 200 nuts or bolts of these fucking things so I can get this done.
I think we need to have a group meeting to talk about missing these deadlines, because we're yes, we've had plenty of those people. I want to be the bus driver type people. Like, you're not listening, but that's okay. That's okay. You're my leader. I'm gonna get past that. The leaders, the subordinates below me will make it happen.
Right. I always say active listening isn't waiting to, it's listening to understand, not to respond. You don't listen to respond, you need to listen to understand. It's engaging fully. You got to make that eye contact. You got to repeat back. I don't even say repeat back. I say paraphrase back what you hear.
Yes.
Clarity before correcting. If someone feels understood, their defensiveness is going to drop. You can't coach someone who's in fight mode all the time, or who's got their guard up, ready to punch back whatever you say. And many difficult employees are simply defensive employees. So when somebody says, "Hey, I need 200 more parts so I can complete these widgets," all right, let me make sure I understand correctly what you're telling me. You're telling me to be able to complete X number of widgets this quarter, I, as your boss, need to order 200 more of these components. And if I get you that, you can complete the goal that we set out at the beginning of the quarter. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. I would have done it slightly different. Same concept. So we need to produce how many widgets? X number, right? So, all right, what I'm going to do is order the 200 bolts or whatever you need, and then you're going to get those X amount of widgets for me, right? That's exactly what I'm saying, sir. Yeah, I mean, we said the same thing, just a slightly different variance, but the same thing.
And that comes down to a difference of leadership style and conversation tone and style that is different between you and me. I was trained by you, and so like mine is very I want to be crystal clear here.
Yeah.
All you are telling me is you need those 200 components, and you can make this goal. Is that what I'm making sure I'm understanding you? Is that what you're telling me? Yes. Okay. I will order those right now, and I will let you know when they're going to deliver. In the meantime, continue working and use up our available stock, because I'll let you know when they're going to deliver. Boom. That's it. Yeah. And it's not like, because sometimes like I've had people where I've tried your way and they're like, "Are you fucking demeaning me?" I'm like, no, I'm just trying to make sure I understand exactly what you are telling me and wanting from me.
That's where it goes.
I'm not trying to do anything else.
Goes where you know your people or whomever you're talking to at the time, because the way I'm looking at it in my head, and I could be wrong, the way I phrased it compared to the way you phrased it, I try to make myself be part of their team, which I know I'm the leader, but I was trying to put myself like, hey, we're in this together. Whereas you, not again, either way is great. Where you is like, I am here and I can make this happen for you. Whereas I was kind of putting myself like, damn, we need to get this together. But it also depends on who I'm talking to, because I have came across people exactly what you just said, like, what the fuck you mean? What are you trying to say? I'm like, oh, whoa. I'm just saying I get the parts. Let's go. Yeah.
And it comes down, like you said, to knowing your people and how they're going to respond, because you're 100% right. You're very like, hey, we need to do this. Whereas mine was, I'm the boss and you need me to take this roadblock down for you by opening up funds to get you done. I can make that happen. I just want to make sure that is literally all you need from me. And if that's all you need, I'll make it happen.
Bet.
Yeah, I'll give you a delivery date in an hour. Like, I'll make it happen. It's one of those things. You just got to know your people. You got to know who you're talking to. You got to know how they are going to respond. You got react to what your words are.
This going to the next segment or whatever. I just saw the title of it. This one is a difficult one, especially for this day and age, because of how the social aspect of online friendships are going. Yeah. And I'm saying that from a Generation Xer / in my mind, I feel like I'm a boomer type situation. Conflict resolution without bias. Now, everyone's going to have their favorites.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to always think that someone's a fuck up. But the problem is when it comes to conflict resolution, you have to take that bias out of the situation. And there's times where I know you and we had to resolute some conflict, and I had to take the bias out of it. And then later that evening, you was at my house that evening. So it's like, hey,
Yeah, you have. We've said on this podcast before. I worked for Dice, and I have had conflicts with other employees where Dice has had to referee, and Dice had to remove all bias and say, Austin, you're in the fucking wrong. You need to shut the fuck up and color, or whatever the hell it was, and showed me the error of my ways. And then that night, I went over to his house and was drinking whiskey at his house, playing cards, and that's because me and Dice established very early on that professional is in the professional arena. He was the boss, and I was the employee. Outside of the professional arena, we are peers who enjoy cigars, who enjoy playing cards, who enjoy drinking an adult beverage together. The biggest thing about bias is you cannot become a participant.
Right.
Mediation and negotiation work best when you listen equally, stay objective, avoid favoritism, and focus on facts. The impartiality builds your credibility. The moment your team believes that you pick sides emotionally, you're going to lose all authority. Fairly, you're not going to react. They evaluate. I've had to do this. I'll give you guys an example. I had two employees. One I could not stand. He was, in my personal opinion, he was an idiot. He was very emotional. He just couldn't do the job right. And I'd have to step in constantly to fix this guy. And then I had another employee who was great. I never had to double check his work. I knew it was always done right. And there's just very few times where he's fucked up. They had an interpersonal conflict, so I brought them both in and I sat them down in my office and I said, what the hell is going on? And I listened to both sides. I was like, you talk. I want you to shut up. I want you to talk and tell me what you see. All right, now you shut up and I want you to talk, person B, and I want you to tell me what you think happened. Okay, cool. And what I found was it was a person B had a blindness to a involuntary physical reaction to how they talk. And they literally couldn't help it. He had an eye flutter when he talked. And it always looked like he rolled his eyes when he started talking, and he got nervous and flustered. And so it was an involuntary shudder. And so when I looked back at my person A and I said, do you see how he is talking to me right now? Did you notice the what you call an eye roll? He goes, yeah. I said, that's involuntary. He can't help that. That is a physical reaction that he cannot help. And he goes, I do that? I said, yes. And I said, I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's a thing that you do involuntarily. That works. That happens. He took it as an insult because he thought you were insulting him by rolling your eyes. He was not. Yes, you do it. You're blind to it because we all have tics or whatever that we're blind to. We don't even notice it anymore. And so it was one of those things where I was like, look, it was a miscommunication. And once I sat down and I talked to them about it, person A realized that it was involuntary. He was like, oh, well, I didn't know it was involuntary. I thought he was like eye rolling at me even every time I told him to do something. I was like, no, that's not what's happened. He doesn't know he's doing it. He said, oh. I was like, but you have to realize that I was like, you need to take a step back and realize that he doesn't know that he does this. So you can't get mad at him because he doesn't know he's doing something. I was like, you need to be like, hey, did you mean this? Like, you need to ask before you just start barking orders. He's like, oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, cool, thanks. And it worked itself out, but it was one of those things where I was able to actively listen equally. Yeah. I stayed objective. I loved person B. I did not like person A, but I solved the interpersonal conflict between them, and they both were like, cool, thanks for educating us. I was like, yeah, I'm happy, always happy to help.
Well, a lot of times in those type scenarios, I wasn't involved in that one, but a lot of times those scenarios when you bring A and B in for a conversation or whatever, a lot of times unnecessary information is thrown in there, like this fucking idiot fucking did this stupid shit and fuck this and that. The main thing is where you was talking about focus on the facts. Remove this fucking idiot. Take that out. Strip that out. Strip all the personal feelings out of the way.
Yeah.
Strip it down to exactly what's going on. Oh, I see where the error is. This person was skipping step 2, and you think he's a fucking idiot because he kept skipping step 2, when in all actuality, if I look in the instruction manual, whatever the guidelines that they were using, step 2 was missing. So
right.
They weren't being a fucking idiot. Just step 2 wasn't there, and you, being a smarter person that's been here longer, knows that there's a step 2, and you perform step 2 because you know it's there. And this person is new and he didn't know it's there, so he's not a fucking idiot. He just didn't fucking know. This whole thing. Bottom line is you got to strip away all the extra noise that is coming in. And here's the key. Like, most workplace conflict is miscommunication amplified by ego. As I did a poor job of saying, you got to remove that ego, clarify expectations, and reset standards, reset procedures, reset. Person A, you got it. Person B, you got it. Active listening on my part. Bada bing, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, and avoiding favoritism is very hard because, like I said, I didn't care for person A, and I liked person B. So it's avoiding favoritism to just jump to person B's defense and be like, no, he's not in the wrong, you're in the wrong. Like, I saw it as a let me mentor and grow person A to where he's not maybe such a dick or such an asshole, and as you know, let me grow him as a leader and let me educate person B on a, like I said, an unconscious thing that he happens to do, and it's not anything like, it wasn't anything malicious. It was just one of those things where, like, you know, if you're bluffing and you have a tick, you know, then you can't help that it's a tick. You know, and it's like, you know, when you bite your nails, and when you're bluffing or something, and people are like, oh, he bites his nails when he's bluffing. Yeah, like, he doesn't. They don't think about it. It's just a thing they do. So it's just one of those things. Like, but if you remove the ego of, like, this asshole's fucking disrespecting me, and I told him to do X, Y, and Z, and I can't believe he rolled his eyes at me. Stop. I need you to rephrase that without your opinion.
Did he do X, Y, and Z? Right.
Did he do X, Y, and Z, and did he roll his eyes? Yeah. Okay. He did it, but he rolled his eyes. You think he rolled his eyes? Okay, cool. What do you think happened? Like, he told me to do it. I said, yeah, sure thing, and then I did it. Like, I was like, all right, cool. You're blind to the eye roll thing, and you're assuming that it's a bad, malicious act on his part, and that's not what it is. I need you to take a step back, recognize that space, and question. Did you mean to roll your eyes at me? And then I guarantee you, if he'd go, did you mean to roll your eyes at me? And the other dude would have been like, what are you talking about? I didn't roll my eyes at you.
As he rolled his eyes.
But I saw you roll your eyes. No, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, he might have if he questioned it, came in with a questioning attitude instead of a what the fuck are you doing attitude, and insult to his ego, then he would have been like, okay, hey, well, I'm gonna try to catch you in this.
There's times when we work together, they were like, oh, it's all right, Osman is a boy, it's whatever, that's Dice's boy, whatever, right? My peers and your peers, when you got the business, everybody was like, oh shit, if he acts that way towards his boy, holy shit. Well, I don't want to get on his bad side.
Yeah.
Like, no, everybody got the same business. If you did something stupid, you got the same business. I don't care who you were. Even my peers, you've seen it. If they mess up, they got the business. And we're on the same level. Don't be stupid. Don't do stupid shit. Go do stupid shit somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's you know, that's the avoiding the favoritism. I knew where I stood. Luckily I was grown enough and mature enough to realize that I was not infallible, and I was not without ever going to make a mistake. I knew that from the get-go. So I knew that if I was getting a business, I probably fucked up.
I may be wrong, but I doubt it.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, we want to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about our second third.
Well, let's talk about a second third and throw in a leaf lesson in there.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back.
A few moments later.
And welcome back. We just took a little break. Working on something to get in that little break slot. Stay tuned for that. Did you want to do your second third, or you want to do leaf lesson first? Let's do the second third first. Let's do the second third. I don't know why I asked. I should just went into the second third. Mine definitely pull into the earthy. I don't want to say earthy, woody area. It has like a toasty feel to it. I don't want to say crackers, but it has like a toasty something. Let's go toast.
I can get cracker. I can get a woodsy, like cracker. I don't want to say saltine, but like definitely some like toast or cracker. Like, like if you took a Gardetto and you removed the you know those toast pieces in a Gardetto.
Yeah, I call them dog biscuits.
Okay, so if you removed like the Gardetto flavoring and you just put like kind of like a light thing of salt on there, that would be what I would get as like a cracker, like toasted cracker. But there's also some woodsy. Yeah, that's not what I'm getting. I even know on the retro.
You said that is or that is not. There's a touch of chocolate somewhere.
Yeah, maybe dark chocolate.
But here's something I think we both can agree on.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Mine just kicked into, I would call a medium.
I would agree with just medium.
Medium, because the notes for it says medium to full, medium to full. Mine medium. There's nothing full in this. I agreed with you at the beginning. It was a little, I don't want to say light in the britches, but it was more of a mild than a medium to me. I don't know if they're getting that cinnamon to make it seem like it's more medium and full, but I'm going with medium. My burn has been pretty good. Your burn looks a little inconsistent.
Yeah, no. So I agree. So let's talk about stubborn burn, because that's today's leaf lesson.
All right, everyone, settle in. It's time for this episode's leaf lesson, where we'll go over cigar culture so you can enjoy the leaf respectfully.
Leadership, like cigar smoking, is about managing the burn, not forcing it. When a cigar starts tunneling or canoeing, your first instinct might be frustration. You might want to puff harder, you might want to fix it fast, but aggressive puffing usually makes it worse.
True.
Slow down, look at the burn line, and identify what's uneven. If you touch it up with a cigar lighter, as required lightly, it's usually going to turn out as a better product than if you just puff, and really get all that stale fucking air and smoke in your cigar. Mine is starting to kind of be it was a little wonky.
Yeah.
So I touched it up.
Another aspect to that, consider your airflow, your punch, your poke, your cross cut. You can gently roll the cigar between your fingers to try to open up some channels in there. I mean, you could just have something stuck in there. Remember, some tobaccos just need a little bit of time. Some of the tobacco leaves are a little heavier, a little stronger. Be patient. Thicker Maduros need a little more time.
Yeah. Well, there's that sidebar that I couldn't even review the cigar because I couldn't get it to smoke. Remember, it was so tight in the draw, I couldn't get it to smoke. Sometimes, I'm not saying give up, but sometimes they're difficult, and you have to coax them out. If you don't have the time, put it down, let it sit for a little bit, maybe come back to it at a later time if you can. After all that trying, you can let the cigar go. Stop fighting it. Similar to an employee, not all employees are long-term hires. That's what I did. I had to do with that one. It was just not working for me. I cross-cut it, I rolled it, I punched it 4 or 5 times, and I mean, like, I poked it like 4 or 5 times. I did draw tool. I could not get it to open up no matter what I did. And I was like, you know what? This isn't working. I'm going to have to let this cigar go.
Just like a difficult employee, sometimes you just got to let them go. Saying that, in all this, I was speaking to someone, I think it was the other day, where they purchased a cigar that they haven't tried before. Like, oh, and it wasn't like an expensive cigar, let's say $12 or whatever. And I said that since you never tried it before and you're having trouble with that one, there's a rule of thumb, leadership of the leaf, rule of thumb is to buy two. Buy 2 of that cigar that you want to try. I'm not saying like if you go out and buy like a $60 Davidoff, buy 2. Not everybody's pockets are that deep. But if you're like this one was what, about $7-8?
Something like that. Yeah.
Buy 2. You never smoked it before, buy 2, because your first one could have been like that one we had on that sidebar episode. And then you're all distraught. So now you bought 2 of that same cigar. You can give it another try. Just like you give an employee a second chance. Maybe they just have an off day. Maybe their favorite dog in the world just died and they're having a fucking bad time getting over it. You don't want to fire that person right away. Give it time. Give it a second try. If the second try still, you go through all these same steps and the second try still doesn't work out, all right, get rid of it. Trim the fat. You're done.
Yeah, and you know, I noticed a lot of times, you know, that people don't want to give feedback, right? Like they don't want to give that feedback to be like, hey, you're not meeting my expectations, right? You're not doing this, because everyone's going to assume that feedback, if I have to give you feedback, then that means that something bad's happening. And maybe that's true. But you want to give feedback that's going to build somebody up, not that's going to break them down. It's not about catching mistakes. It's preventing breakdowns. Regular feedback sessions are like routine maintenance on a vehicle. You don't want to wait for the engine to explode to check the oil. Like you should be checking the oil every so often. You know, my dad always told me that every time you gas up, pop the hood, check the oil. So I started doing that, and I had a car, I had a truck, and I'd sit there and I'd check the oil every gas up, every about a couple, 2 weeks or so. I check the oil, and I'm like, man, this thing is fucking low again. So I'd go in, go in the gas station, buy another quart of oil, and put another quart of oil in, and drive another 2 weeks. It was fine. And then, like after another 2 weeks, so a month, it would be low again. God bless, man. What the hell is going on? So finally, I took it to a mechanic, and I was like, hey, what is going on? And he goes, oh, yeah, you're burning oil because of this bad seal. All right, cool. Bad seal. It was criticism. Like, hey, you basically, he was like, yeah, you burned this seal up because you didn't change the oil often enough. I was like, okay. So he gave me criticism. He was trying to correct me without correction, without affirmation. Feels like an attack. So when I told him, I said, I change the oil every 5,000 miles. Yeah, okay. Next time, try every 3,000 miles, and I bet you this seal will last longer. It's an old car. It needs a lot more TLC. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. It was not. He was like, he goes, 5,000 miles. That's really good for these new engines, but this one's a little bit older, so you need to change every 3,000. Okay, cool, got it. That makes sense. It was correction with affirmation, so I didn't feel like I was being attacked.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say, you fucking idiot, you need to do it every 3,000 miles. What a fucking loser. Like, instantly I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Right? So, it's one of those techniques. It is a technique. It's not the only technique. It is a technique. I believe the common term for it is shit sandwich.
Yeah, shit sandwich.
Yeah, start with something that they're doing well. Hey, it's good that you are getting the oil change every 5,000 miles. Address the issue with clearly. You have an older vehicle. 3,000 is the preferred. In with the belief and the ability to improve. I believe you do it. You start doing it every 3,000. That still lasts forever.
Yeah, and don't soften the truth so much that it disappears. My dad always used to say, and I kind of caught it out. He's like, don't beat around the bush so much that the leaves fall off.
I like that.
And it always cracked me. I was like, that's so funny, Dad, because I always imagine the dude like literally hitting a bush and leaves falling
Leaves are
off.
falling.
So, I'm like, that's so fucking stupid. But like, it made me like realize as I got older, I was like, oh, he meant I need to speak clearly. And sometimes I speak too clearly. I've been accused of being blunt before, and bluntness is not a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when you're just like, hey, you change that oil every 3,000 miles, and your steel's gonna last forever. That sounds a lot different than like, hey, I understand that you're changing the oil every 5,000 miles, but because you have an older vehicle, you might want to expect 3,000 miles to replace it with a good synthetic oil, and that steel's gonna last a lot longer. And it's like, oh, okay, that sounds a lot different than, hey, change it every 3,000 miles, and you'll be fine. Like, that's, there's two different things. You want to be firm, you want to be clear, you want to be respectful. That's the balance. Hey, if you change your oil every 3,000 miles, hey, if you start doing this stuff, you're going to have an easier time. Hey, if you get your expense reports on time, all of your stuff will be met, and you won't be missing 200 nuts or bolts to make your widget. If you properly provision yourself, you wouldn't be short come towards the end of the quarter and asking me for extra money.
And another role or aspect of a leadership when it comes to feedback is provide that feedback. You have to give that feedback. You want to build that feedback. You want to build it so you don't have these breakdowns and stuff. So don't make excuses to the reason why you didn't give that feedback. Oh, he works a different shift. I'm tired when I get off. I don't feel like staying overtime to give him feedback. I don't feel like coming in early because he works mid-shift to give feedback. The feedback is I'm not going to say needed. I'm going to say required. Because if the feedback isn't given, then that person doesn't know that they're doing something wrong, or that person doesn't realize that they're messing up, so to speak, or they have an action that needs to be corrected without that feedback. And it needs to be done on a regular basis. So let's say that person does work a different shift. Every now and again, okay, maybe you should pop in. Let's say every 3 months or so, pop in a little early just to touch base with that person. Especially if it's someone you don't see all the time. Be like, hey, I see that you're filling out your logs. Everything is going pretty well. I'm getting feedback from guests that this is happening. Here's some corrective actions for that. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. Continue X, Y, and Z. Let's help out. Let's do our job together. So everyone is getting the feedback they need. And then that person is able to verbalize some things that maybe they have issues with because you don't see them that often.
Right. Well, like, so to develop the difficult person, right? Sometimes the solution isn't discipline. It's development. Sometimes it needs mentorship or coaching, like you're saying, giving that good feedback. Some employees act out because they're insecure. Some are going to resist because they feel exposed. And investing in their growth is going to change their narrative. If you have a difficult employee and you ask, hey, is everything okay? I've noticed you've been having some friction with your middle managers or your supervisors or whatever. Everything okay? Like, what's going on? And that's when that conversation is allowed to take place, where you're just asking them, like, hey, everything okay? And that's when they feel like they can open up and go, hey, I'm actually having a difficult time with X, Y, and Z because I don't feel as though they listen to me. My supervisor on this shift listens to me. All right, that is fair and valid feedback. Let me talk to your supervisor. I'm going to I'll pop in again early tomorrow, and I'll talk with your supervisor and see what they have to say. It's having that person's back. Maybe they're a difficult employee, but if you show that you have their back, you're taking their feedback, and you value their feedback, they're going to probably open up a little bit more, and they're going to know that you trust them.
Well, here's probably the most difficult subordinate to operate with. And I picked this one because throughout my leadership time frame, and probably through yours too, probably through many others, is you always have that arrogant employee. And I will say, for me, going through my levels of leadership, starting from a subordinate all the way up or whatever, some people may take that I was arrogant. And I often said, when people called me out, I often said, don't confuse my arrogance with confidence. Because confidence is valuable, whereas arrogant is disruptive. I'm confident I can produce. I'm not arrogant about it. I just know what I can and can't do. I'm confident that I can take anyone to the hole in basketball. I can drive the lane on anyone. My arrogance is I will score every single time.
Right.
I didn't say I can score every single time. I said I can go to the basket every single time. I know I can produce X amount of widgets every time. I'm not saying that every single widget is going to last years and years and years. I just know I can produce this many. I'm confident in that.
Right.
And there's ways to handle that arrogant employee. And one of the first ways is you don't want to react publicly. Arrogant employees often perform for an audience. I don't know if you notice or not, but that class clown or whatever, when the whole class laughs at the class clown, that's building him. That's like, oh yeah, look, I'm getting laughs from everyone. I'm gonna continue being the class clown.
Right.
So don't give them that.
Yeah, we want to address those issues private. You also want to make sure you give the individual accountability. Sometimes arrogant employees thrive when judged solely on results. Like, yeah, I know I'm the best because I produced 90 widgets. Your goal was 60 and I produced fucking 90. That's how I know I'm the fucking best. If you assign measurable solo projects when appropriate, like, okay, if you can produce 90, then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to make yours, I'm going to make yours 130. You need now to succeed, I'm going to make your goal specifically 130 widgets. Good luck. So when and 130 widgets with a 95% pass rate, QA pass rate.
Oh, okay.
So or hey, I want you to produce 90 with 100% pass rate. So it's giving them solo projects like, okay, yeah, you produced 90 widgets, but fucking 50% of them had to go back and be reworked. So now I want you to produce 90 widgets with 100% pass rate. If you can do that, we'll talk about something else. We'll talk about a bonus, we'll talk about comp time, we'll talk about something else. But if you give them individual accountability, like I agree, you're great. You are producing wonderful amount of widgets. The problem is you are your widgets are 50% passing because you're rushing through them so quickly that I now have to go back and I have to spend extra time reworking. And not just me, your team has to go rework your stuff that you're doing. So
yeah.
Now I want you to pass all of your little marks or whatever, your sticker saying, hey, I did this. I want you to pass those with 95%. I know the goal is 90, but if you can get to 95, I'll count that as a win.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a different conversation. You want to keep those interactions, especially with arrogant people, you want to keep those interactions professional and concise. You want to be short, clear, and direct. And the reason why I say short, clear, and direct is because you want to be short. You don't want to give them any wiggle room. You don't want them to construe what you said, so you want to be clear and concise. We was teasing about it earlier, where it was like, let me make myself clear. Let me be very clear on my instructions. And the key to that is no emotional sparring. A lot of times, young leaders, they'll get into a sparring match. Well, I can do 90. Well, I can do 95. Well, I can do 100. Well, I can do 105. You suck. You suck even more. Like, you don't want to go into leave that rhetoric alone.
Yeah.
Short, clear, and direct. I want you to produce 95. Your pass rate has been the lowest of everyone, so let's get your pass rate to 100% and produce 95. Let's start there. Very clear. This week, very clear.
Yeah. Within this quarter, I want you to produce 95 blitzes with a 95% pass rate. You do that, we can talk about X, Y, Z, right? Boom.
Yeah.
It's short, it's clear, it's direct, it's measurable, it's relevant, it's all those SMART goals, right?
Yeah.
You're also getting direct feedback. Pull them in privately and say, hey, I've noticed how you speak to others, you come across as arrogant. Be specific, not vague. Hey, when you said, bitch, I can better than you, anything you can do, I could do better, I'm going to need you to realize that your pass rate or whatever, or your turn-in rate has been behind or it's been low or what, like, I don't want to say, don't sit there and say, you're not as good as you think you are. Just go, hey, look, while you maintain the highest number of widgets produced, you have the lowest QA pass rate of anyone in the entire team. So let's pull up that pass rate and let's make sure that we're not coming across as arrogant just because you're producing 95 widgets with a 50% QA pass rate.
Yeah, it's one of those where you want to have that. I hate saying stuff like this, but it's one of them where you want to have that private conversation where you knock them down a peg.
Yeah.
Take some of that swag out of their step.
And it's not, don't think you're as good as you are, or don't be cocky, or don't start with that. Don't ever say that sort of stuff. You want to have a private conversation where it's like, hey, this is that shit sandwich. Hey, you're doing really good on the number of widgets you're producing. However, your pass rate or whatever, your timeliness is lacking. Let's improve that. Here's some ways I think you can improve that. All right? That's specific. That's not vague. I want to make sure that you are a contributor, not a detractor to this team. While you may produce the most, you also have the most errors.
And this is where I think people kind of fail, is you want to track that progress. You want to track it. You want to document that conversation. You want to follow up that conversation. Leadership requires consistency. So if you do that, you need to maintain that consistency. This is where you may need to come in that maybe an hour and a half early just to make sure you follow up and maintain that consistency throughout that whole process. Because if you pull someone and have that private conversation and do all this big willy talk because you're the leader, you're the boss, you're the head honcho, and then you don't follow up on anything, it's going to be one of those like, here we go, Austin, he's just going to give me all this noise, rah, rah, rah. A month are going to go by and then we'll be right back in the same boat. I'm the best.
Right. And then you also have to set those boundaries and consequences. Let them know what happens if their behavior doesn't improve. Hey, if you don't improve this behavior, if you don't start hitting your QA pass rate, if you don't start becoming a functional part of this team, or you don't stop putting other people down, I'm going to have to sit there. I'm going to have to take your raise away. I'm going to make sure that you're not in consideration for a promotion. I'm going to have to write you up. And if this continues, we may have to talk about termination paperwork. I don't want to do that because you're a very high producing employee, but I really got to get you to understand that you are part of a team. You're not the team. You are a part of a.
Yeah, where a lot of arrogant employees get in their head is, you can't function without me in this job. And where I let a lot of people know is, I've done your job. I can do your job, and I can do your job without you until I find another replacement for you. So you're not a key player in this process. You're not a linchpin. You're not the one. You're not the end all be all. The company or whatever was working without you. We got you. I appreciate it. You're actually pretty good at what the fuck you do. I'm not gonna lie, but don't get it twisted. I can replace you. But I mean, you don't want to go that far. I mean, you get that far in the game, then I mean, there's a lot of steps in here that has been failed, or that person is just that too far gone. But if you are at that point and you didn't follow any of the prior steps and you're already at that level, then you have failed as a leader if you're jumping to termination pretty quickly in my book. This is something that has to develop over time. Of course, we don't want to terminate people. We definitely don't want to terminate a high performer. I mean, but I'll get rid of it if I have to.
Well, the problem is that if you set those boundaries and they cross those boundaries, just like with kids, if you set a boundary and they cross that line, then you have to follow through on whatever it is you said. Hey, if you come in late again, I'm going to have to formally write you up. I don't want to have to do that because you're an excellent producer, but if you continue to come in late because you think you're untouchable, I will formally write you up, and that's not going to look good on your record, and that will absolutely take you out of the contention for a promotion or a performance bonus. Then if they come in late, you have to follow through and make sure you write them up.
Yes.
Empty threats destroy your leadership credibility. They're going to absolutely, it's like a toddler, like, hey, don't touch that. And then they touch it, and you're like, hey, I told you don't touch that. Don't touch it. Nobody's listening to you anymore. They absolutely like, all right, well, yeah, that's obviously an empty threat. You have to sit there and go, hey, I told you not to touch that. If you did, then I'm going to put you in timeout. Now you're in timeout. Like, wait, what? Like, your kid might throw a temper tantrum, but they're going to realize that if mom or dad says, hey, don't fucking do this because here's your consequence. If you do it, they're going to realize real quick, yeah, I don't want to do that because if I do that, then I'm losing access to the switch or the whatever, whatever it is.
He's gonna pop my bottom.
Yeah, like yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah,
but if you started going, hey, I told you not to do that. I'm really telling you not to do that. Fuck you.
Yeah. Essentially, if they do it again, that's essentially what they're saying, right? It leads into the next. I would say the number 2 troublesome employee is the one who doesn't or won't listen. When someone won't listen, you got to offer solutions, provide training, and defined consequences. Hey, I've said this. I made it clear. You heard me. You acknowledge that you heard me. We're very clear with each other. I provide you the training because maybe you didn't quite understand how to do that exactly. So A, B, C, we got that down pat. Now, if you don't do A, B, C, these are the consequences. And I'm going to define these consequences, which is going to be a progression of discipline.
Right. One, and coaching arrogance and people who won't listen requires reflection. You got to ask them, like, hey, how do you think your behavior impacts the team? Is that behavior helping or hurting the team? I don't want to treat them like a toddler because you don't want to like demean them. But
you treat me like a fucking kid.
But sometimes it's for lack of a better term, that's what it requires. Like, hey, how do you think your fellow teammates feel when you say stuff like, I'm the best, all of you guys can go home, y'all aren't fucking needed, all they need is me? How do you think that makes anybody feel? If they were to come in new to this team and they heard that, then they're going to be like, well, why the fuck, if that's the case, then why the fuck am I here? I'll just sit back and let you do all the goddamn work and I'll just fucking collect the paycheck.
Yeah. Why are you out there doing security work? Who's in the office to answer the phone to make sales? Oh, I didn't look at it that way. Okay. You wasn't hired for security. You was hired for sales.
Right. You got to help them see the bigger picture. You got to remember, team culture can neutralize that ego. Strong culture makes arrogance uncomfortable. And much as people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said it. Culture starts from the top. True. You have to build the culture of this is unacceptable. Here's why it's unacceptable. And this is what I do to unacceptable performers.
Right, and that's where it comes in that full circle, right? So if the leader refuses to give feedback or makes excuses of why the feedback can't be given, and that person is still going to remain doing the same thing that they've been doing, which disrupts the whole team, which now alienates that person from the team, and now the whole team performance is lacking in the whole overall big picture of everything, and now it seems like the whole operation is failing. The whole operation is failing just because that leader didn't provide feedback to straighten up the arrogant employee or the employee that just doesn't want to listen and follow rules, where everybody else sees, like, I guess the leader doesn't care that that person is doing it, so we're just going to show up, punch the clock, do our job, and go the fuck home.
Yeah, well, and I've had it to where it's like, somebody comes out and they're like, I was number one in training. I didn't get anything wrong. There's no way that I'm doing something wrong. And I tell their middle manager, like, hey, you need to write them up because they fucked up, and here's how they fucked up. Like, write them, but they're so good at what they do. Like, can't we overlook this one fuck up? Like, no.
Yeah,
they
no.
fucked up. That, like, anybody, like, take that person out. If I said, I have an employee who did X, which is what they did, how would you respond? Like, I'd write them up. Okay, so then why the fuck are we having this conversation? Why are you not writing their ass up right now? Exactly. Write their fucking shit up.
And again, I don't want to go to the extreme. Maybe write up is not the right answer to start with. Maybe that person thinks everything they're doing is right. Maybe that person, like, I don't see the error in my way. So this is where that feedback comes into play, and the documentation of that feedback comes into play. Like, remember on December 3rd when I told you about such and such and such and such, and we had this whole conversation, and then I had you sign the paper saying the same thing that we talked about. It wasn't a write-up, it was just acknowledging that we had this conversation. Yeah, you remember, and you did it anyway. Now I have to write you up. Now I have to write you up. You know.
I formally write you up because that's what I said I was going to do.
Right.
But and in closing, right? Like, leadership is emotional discipline, right? We've talked about emotional intelligence before, all that fun stuff. Yeah. Handling difficult subordinates is not about dominance. It's not. We've said it before. If you have to come in and say, I'm the leader here, you're not the leader anymore.
No.
If I have to come in and say, I'm the leader, you'll listen to me. No. Because that's somebody who's weak.
Yeah, you're just a placeholder.
You're a placeholder. It's about emotional control. It's about diagnosing before disciplining, clarifying before correcting, listening before labeling, and developing before dismissing. Cigars, just like in cigars, they teach patience, right? Touching up cigars, make sure you light it right, make sure you smoke it right. You can't rush it, you don't force it, you just manage the burn. Leadership works the same way. Some employees need trimming, some need a little bit of a touch-up, right? You need to know that some need a better airflow or a little poke just to get them to flow better, and a few rarely need removal or to set down and just let it go. It's just not worth fighting. So you have to recognize when it's time to go, hey, this isn't working out. I have tried many different ways to get through to you. I'm at the end of my rope. You're dragging the team down while you are a great performer. You're just dragging the whole rest of the team down. And I'd rather have somebody who's a team player than an I player.
Right. Well, just like let's look at your cigar. Look at your cigar right now. You touched it up in the middle of the episode. You touched it up. How's the burn line in your cigar now?
Much better.
Much better. So it responded to your discipline. It responded to your touch up. Just like an employee, they have to respond to being touched up every now and again. You got to touch somebody up. Every now and again, you got to touch a cigar up. And now your cigar, I can see it. Your burn line is better. It's not canoeing. The ash is pretty good. Yeah.
Well, great leaders don't react from ego. They're going to respond from discipline. They're going to realize, like, hey, I don't have to sit here and micromanage. It's not about micromanaging. It's about, let me give them a little poke. Let me give them a prod. Let me give them a nudge in the right direction. See if they respond and hold firm to what I said I was going to do. If they
Maybe you just got to roll
great.
their neck in your fingers a little bit just to get the airflow.
Yeah, sometimes, but and like we said, sometimes you just, hey, this isn't working. You're not a good fit for this company anymore. You're not a good fit for my team. either I can move you, or you can remove yourself, or maybe we can find you a different job.
And I guarantee you, once those words are said, they'll start to listen. Like, there was an employee that called off like all the time, right? I'm sick as a dog, whatever the reason. And then they got the pink slip. Like, you called, you're unreliable. You show up late all the time. We're just going to let you go. You're not a good fit. We can't rely on you. The person actually said, if I knew I was going to get fired today, I wouldn't have called off today. What?
Yeah. If you called out like 14 of the last 30 days, what do you expect?
You're never here anyway. Let me help you out.
Exactly. All right. That was our leadership episode. The CAO, Fossa, Soul, final third, Dice.
I don't know if you're getting the same thing. I don't know. There is a nuance of citrus, of some kind of citrus in there, mixed with like a lingering dark chocolate. Just spices there. The spice has kind of been there the whole time, ever since that big puff of cinnamon at the beginning to me. But citrus, maybe leather. I'm gonna definitely a nuance of citrus in here.
So I get the spice. I get a woodsy, almost cedar-esque. Citrus, I don't know if I quite get it. There's definitely a spice to it. I can feel it on my lips.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I get citrus, but I definitely get like a spicy, woodsy, earthy kind of tone to it.
Any leather at all, you think? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe a little leather.
I don't know. I would definitely say all sweetness is kind of gone. Because I read up on the cigar, of course, and some notes said like salted caramel in there. I'm not getting any kind of caramel. Definitely some kind of, I want to say dark chocolate, dark cacao, or something of that aspect. I'm still stuck on that whole citrus thing. There's something citrusy in there for me. I'm not drinking Hennessy this time. Hennessy definitely made it a little more sweeter when I smoked this with Hennessy. But I don't. You got a whiskey as well. Your whiskey is a little more refined than mine, Mr. Redbreast. But I don't know. I'm sticking with that whole citrus thing.
Okay. Well, that leads me to my next question: single, 5-pack, or box worthy?
It's time to answer the question. Is a cigar box worthy, 5-pack, or just 1 or 2?
Now, I would not say box worthy.
Okay.
And it's not 1 or 2 for me, because I actually do enjoy it. So that only leaves a 5-pack. I would be happy with a 5-pack of these. I wouldn't be happy if I had a box. That definitely wouldn't be a flex. But like, hey, Austin, I got a box of those Fossa Soul. You'd be like, oh, okay, cool. You wouldn't be like, oh man, I wish I had a box. You wouldn't do that. Not with this cigar. But 1 or 2, you'd be like, hey, that's a pretty good cigar. I said I got a 5-pack. I guarantee you'd be like, okay, I can see a 5-pack. But that's me projecting on you now. So I'm going 5-pack for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. You know, like it. I had to touch up a few times here and there, which, you know, it could be the cigar, could be whatever. The flavor profile is good. I just don't think that I'm like, oh man, I have a box. I'm so fucking excited I have a box. Like I'm like, yeah, these are good. I would buy a 5-pack. You know, I bought 1 or 2 just to try it out, but I don't think it's I would be. I don't think I would be upset if I had a 5-pack. If I had a box, if I spent money on a box, I'd be like, I wish I could have spent my money somewhere else. But if I had a 5-pack, I'd be like, all right, yeah, 5-pack, that's good. Singles, I'd probably be like, I wish I had a few more because this is a good smoke. It's a great. It started to finally kind of get medium full towards the end with a spice, but it's definitely a solid medium cigar.
I agree with that. I agree with the medium. I haven't tried. There's nothing. That was a tobacco leaf. A little spittle. It definitely has not moved into a full category for me. Definitely a medium. I can see like maybe a flavor profile maybe moving to a strong, but definitely in medium in my book. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
This is my. Yeah. I bought 3.
Okay. So this is my first one. I have another one in my humidor, which I'm not upset that I have another one. I'm excited to smoke that one. And I would definitely be like, yeah, I think that. And then I'd be like, oh man, those Theo Coffee Souls, that definitely hits on a certain aspect. I'd be happy with it. But yeah, I think 5-pack all day.
Yeah, I would say we should probably smoke another one in the lineup. There's 3, at least one more.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? All right. Yeah, great. Subordinate, arrogant, subordinate, difficult subordinate talk, and dealing with difficult burns. Yeah, well, I think that was a good episode.
I thoroughly enjoyed it because I know we both have dealt with arrogant and subordinates that just like, why aren't you listening?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Until next time, I'm Austin.
And I'm Dice.
Great leaders on great cigars.
Facts.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.